mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, constant in the trial and the change. One thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. And on and on and on and on it goes. It overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I never ever have to be afraid. One thing remains. One thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. Oh, in death, in life, in death, in life, I'm confident and covered by the power of your great love. My debt is paid, there's nothing that can separate my heart from your great love. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. Oh, and on and on and on and on and on and on it goes. Yes, it overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I never ever have to be afraid. One thing remains. One thing remains. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. No, your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails, it never gives up, it never runs out on me. Your love.
What is up? Welcome to the gathering. The first stream of the gathering. It's exciting, it's new, all of the above. Everything good. So, feel free to drop a message in the chat so we see who you are. If your name is not who you are, looking at you, Daniker, aka Iron Orange, say who you are because that'll be super helpful. Yeah, glad to see you guys here. Again, we've told you every week, but there's a 15-second delay, give or take. So if you say something and we don't react immediately, it's either because it wasn't funny or it's delayed, or both. So tonight, as you can see behind me, is movie night. Um, it's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff. The prompt was we were going to have some of you guys send in pictures of yourselves dressed as movie characters. So we got a couple, so we're going to run through those pretty quickly. So first up, we have the Shimo family, I believe dressed as The Incredibles, which is, as I remember, a good movie. Not one I've seen in a long time. Never saw the second one. But I've heard it was good. So, well done, Shimo family. Next up, and finally, we just have two, it is Marika Mayaker, who is somebody from the movie Unplanned, which coincidentally is another movie I've not seen. So, I need to see more movies. But, both of you, very well done. Proud of both of you. Without further ado, I would like to introduce my co-host, who should be coming momentarily.
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and as you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy today. It's such a good feeling. I don't know the rest of the word.
It's bad.
I can't even get the sweater on. Here we go. Here we go.
Wow. It's a cute sweater.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah, did you get it at Boys R Us?
I picked this up with you at PNC.
That you did. That you did. A wonderful memory.
Hold on.
Wow.
You can't be talking. You don't have a mic. Oh, man. All right.
That went over the head of
It's
just
bad.
about everybody except for maybe Alarin and Leah.
Yeah, well, sometimes you'll have that. And
I enjoyed it.
I see that your movie character blended into our background.
True. So we may have to revisit that at a later time. We'll see.
Right now you're Rudy, though.
True. Which is another movie that most of you have probably not
Yeah, it's
seen.
regrettable that a lot of the best movies are probably ones that you haven't seen.
Which says more about you than it does about the movies. So.
Yeah, it's true. Because my number one movie of all time would be The Truman Show with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is
one
a good
of my
one.
favorites as well.
It is a good one. What about you?
Well, if we're sticking with the Jim Carrey theme, I would have to say Dumb and Dumber, which is one that recently we took in together.
We did.
It was a good night.
I highly enjoy that film.
Oh
as
yes.
well.
Oh yes.
For sure. What are some of your favorite movies out there in TV land? That's a question I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge Patch Adams fan with Robin Williams. I
Yeah.
also enjoy Apollo 13, but these are before the time
True.
of some of the people.
Both
that are
great
taking.
movies, but
Yeah.
not.
A Beautiful Mind is another one I greatly enjoy.
These
with
are a lot of
Russell
movies
Crowe.
that I had never seen up until within the last year.
Okay.
Watched a lot of movies at your house.
Yeah. I
Good
do enjoy
times.
the Back to the Future movies.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
What do we got out there? Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Mr. Robinson.
I don't know what Maury's thinking. He's not getting any points for that.
Hey Lucas, The Office is a show.
Oh, so we got like a 30-second delay, it
Good
sounds
to
like.
know.
Must be the flood.
The flood.
The flood.
It was the flood. Should we address the flood?
Yeah, so we got flooded today a little bit. We took on some water down here.
It
And
was
that
bad.
is that was a little bit why we were delayed from our normal start time. But we the Lord is moving, and He has given us Jack, and Jack always keeps rolling.
We do love Jack.
Isaac Mowry coming with It's from SNL, Meet Mr. Robinson. I do remember that now.
Feel free to
So-
send an appreciation text to Jack right
Yeah.
now. He would love it.
We got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom from Noah Brown. I never saw that. I saw the original 3 Jurassic Parks, and then after that,
I think that I've seen
fell
Jurassic
off.
Park. I think that's the next movie that Leah and I are watching, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I can't confirm that I've seen them.
I will tell you, the one time I watched Jurassic Park, it was with this older gentleman from our church growing up, and I was sitting on his recliner, and there's this one part where these little dinosaurs,
The
and this guy falls
Velociraptors?
down, and these little
little
tiny
ones.
dinosaurs come where the guy fell down and they eat him alive.
Ooh, I hate that.
Okay, you don't see it on the screen that I remember, but at that moment when you saw the little dinosaurs, the guy's cat jumped on the back of my chair, and I'm telling you what, I flew to the ceiling.
Wow, I don't doubt that.
It was not good.
I do actually. We tried to watch Jurassic Park one time when we were kids, and Luke got so scared he had a hoodie on and turned it around backwards and just put the hoodie up over his face for the whole movie.
I usually do that if I'm
Yeah.
watching some sort of doctor show. I'm not gonna look at blood, man.
Yeah.
But-
Oh, Zathura is an excellent movie. Nicholas Barger, I watched that with Nicholas Barger
Oh, did you?
recently. Well, he was present.
Okay.
He was not watching it. He was making a lot of jokes the whole time.
Okay.
As was Micah and Andrew Nichols. So
I'm not surprised.
as you would expect.
Hey, I want to throw out while we're here. Last week we did some bounties. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember that. But we tried to come up with 4 people, one from Element 56, one from middle school, one from high school, and we picked an alumni, an Oasis alumni, that we want to put a bounty out on. So how this works is we're going to throw out those 4 names, and you have to reach out to that person, get them to join the live stream, and post their name in the chat feature. And then they have to text either Andrew or I and let us know, hey, this is my name on YouTube, and I am watching.
Yes.
And if they do that and they say that it was you that encouraged them to do it, both of you will win a special prize. So
Yeah.
you want to throw out some of these bounty people that we identified?
Yeah. So we have Joshua Banka.
Oh, Josh Banka.
Yeah. Love Josh Banka.
I do too. I haven't seen him in a while.
No, far too long.
Hence the bounty.
True. Ethan Ball from middle school.
Ethan Ball.
We
Get
got
him.
we got Emma Hawk from Element 56.
Emma Hawk. Are
Bring
you
her along.
watching, Emma?
She
And-
should be. And finally, Krista Matthias, an
Oh,
alumni,
an alumni.
Of Oasis student ministry.
Yes. She graduated last year and an IUP attendee
Yeah.
right now. So if you can get any of those people to jump on, great riches await you.
Great riches.
It's movie night, so
It is
we
movie
have
night.
some movie trivia that we're going to be rolling through here. Excited about that. This is how it's going to work. We are going to put a quote on the screen, but it is going to have some blanks in it. And so you're going to get a point if you can fill all the blanks correctly. You're going to get a point if you can identify what movie this quote is from, and also if you can identify the character in the movie that speaks this line.
Right.
So there's a lot of points out there. Hopefully,
Take them.
hopefully Serena is keeping track of those points.
Hopefully Isaac Mowry does not win.
And one of you will walk away a winner tonight.
Yeah.
And I love winning.
And again, I hope it is not you, Isaac Mowry. I'll be very honest.
Yes. So let me see what we have here. Jack, are you ready? Yes. Okay. Easy enough. Let's begin. He said. So the first quote is this: "There's no crying in blank."
Wow.
And a great film it
It's
is.
one that I've never seen.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Well, that's disappointing. I'll give a hint that Tom Hanks plays in this film, and it is he who says it.
Is
But-
it Toy Story?
To Infinity Beyond.
Wow.
But it is not Toy Story. That's another hint I'm throwing out there. It
Yeah.
is not Turner and Hooch.
Wow. I don't know what that is.
I like to play a game where you throw out an actor, and you have to go back and forth naming films that they were in until somebody can't get it.
Okay. So we had Nicholas Barger getting the quote.
Okay. Well,
He
congratulations.
did not get the movie name correct, though.
He did not. Okay.
So get better.
Yeah. You got to get that.
Yeah, you really do.
It's about women's baseball.
True.
So if that helps you, Rosie O'Donnell is in it.
Not sure that helps you.
Well, doesn't help me at all, but
Castaway.
I
Close.
also know the name of the movie. So.
Yeah, true. We don't need help.
And has anybody gotten the character yet
No.
that Tom Hanks is playing?
No.
So, do we just move forward?
I think we do.
Okay, so it's Jimmy Dugan, who's the manager of the team, and the movie is A League of Their Own, and you need to see it.
I we'll get right on
It's
that.
disappointing that you haven't seen it.
All right, so next up, we had the quote is the following: "You will board my blank, sail across the blank, and restore the blank of blank."
That's a lot of blank.
That is a lot of blank.
This is a movie I just recently saw, actually.
It's a good one.
This
I
last
enjoyed
Friday
this
night,
one.
it won in our family movie vote. Oh, it looks like Joella Bandy got Jimmy Dugan, though.
That she did.
So, and Natalie Shimo,
Yeah.
A League of Their Own.
True.
Oh, but Nick Barger also put that A League of Their Own.
True.
Well, we will definitely award whoever said it first.
Yeah.
So check that out. We'll get back to that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a movie that I was unexpectedly good.
Wow.
Malia Bune,
She did.
she got it. Nice job, Malia.
Wow. But Noah. Okay.
Noah Brown.
Wait, I think
oh,
Isaac Filer.
Moana. It was Moana.
And we could say that Noah Brown got it because it's the character and the name. So
There you go.
1 point each for Isaac, Malia, and Noah Brown.
I love Noah Brown.
Yeah, suck it, Isaac. You didn't get it. Ha.
I wish I could hear Noah Brown's voice right now.
Me too. I miss you, Noah Brown.
Noah, talk to Jesse right now so at least someone can enjoy your voice.
Yeah.
Because I do.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite Noah Brown story. I got to tell it.
Do it.
I know it doesn't fit.
We're here
but
for it.
we're at the middle school guys lock-in last year, and Noah Brown has said in his life 6 words to me total at that point in
Yes.
time. And Noah, everyone falls asleep except Noah. We had some Nerf guns. All of that stuff was cleaned up, and Noah loaded every Nerf gun we had. And when kids started waking up, he just was shooting them all over the place, hitting people left and right, and maniacally laughing.
As he should.
And yeah,
It's like the
thank you,
Patriot.
Noah.
Good for him.
All right, so the next one is this: you is kind, you is blank, you is blank.
I can think of a lot of words to fill in those blanks.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to hear your words.
Depends
but-
on probably who we're talking about.
Yeah, I've never seen this film actually. Yeah,
It's a good one. I did see this one.
did you?
I think I watched it with my mom.
Well,
So I didn't take creative writing. No, Jack. Sorry, buddy. I wish I was there.
now you brought up painful times for Jack.
True. But good times for Noah Brown.
Good times, Noah Brown. I love every second of it. I love how it is delayed, but
I
we're
know,
just
but we
seeing
know.
now
Yes. Wait.
that Noah is pleased.
Looks like Nick Barger.
Yes, Nick Barger.
So we were just waiting
Nick
on
Barger on the line and the movie. We just need the character name now.
which is not one I could have gotten.
No.
I would not have known the character.
Again, I haven't seen this film, but it is The Help. So,
Yes. I like that Boston Takacic assumed that the line was, "You is kind, you is kind."
well, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you do. You are kind twice.
You are kind.
No.
The name is, I don't even know.
I'm going to say Abilene.
Clark?
Abilene Clark.
Yeah, I was just going to go with
Wow.
Clark because I could get that right. But
Fair.
all right, so what do you got on the next one?
All right, we've got Water Has Blank. This
Water
is
has blank.
incredibly vague.
Man,
This is another movie I have not seen, but I would have seen. I was all you know.
this is a movie that I regret having seen,
Yeah, it's
but I never saw the OG of this movie.
I did see the OG, but never the
Never this. All right.
second
well,
one.
That kind of puts us in a weird spot, I
It
guess.
does. Yeah, it really does. Honestly, I'm judging any of you who have seen this. So.
I'm not a huge fan.
Wow. That was good.
Serena just said we should let it go, but I haven't seen
You
the movie,
also-
so I
yeah.
don't know.
I'm also not sure.
Looks like some guesses
Yeah.
of memory have come in, but that is not correct. Frozen 2 is correct, though, from
It
Isaac
is.
Filer.
It is.
Oh, memory is correct.
Water has memory.
Well, then Joella Bandy.
Nice.
Congrats. And it
And?
looks like Isaac Filer. And I see Olaf from Joella Bandy again.
There you
So,
go.
There you go. Joella, great work.
Keep killing it.
All right, so my next quote is blank, never say die.
Oh, this is a great one that you
Blank,
refused
never
to
say
watch.
die.
We tried to watch
We
this,
tried
and
to
you
watch
fell
it. I
asleep.
did. I fell asleep. I frequently fall asleep
You
when
do.
watching things.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I would encourage any of you. And in fact, You mentioned Rudy earlier. It's the same actor, just as a small, a little Nino.
Rudy is a great film, though.
It is a great film. Not the film we're talking about.
No. If you put Rudy, you're going to be wrong.
You will be wrong, but somebody will inevitably put Rudy.
Looks like Nick Barger gets the movie. It was Goonies.
That it was.
And that is the end of the quote as well. So Barger will give you 2 points there.
Who said it?
And looks like Mike from Nicholas Barger.
Close enough.
Yeah.
It was Mikey. Well done. Well done.
That's a movie that I can't say I'm too excited to watch.
I think you'll enjoy it more than you think you will.
You say that I will, so I'll believe you. You've never steered me wrong.
No, I have not. That goes for all of you. Never steered any of you wrong.
I mean, the movie that you got me to watch that I never watched were all the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, and you didn't really like them that much.
They were all right.
Yeah,
They were all right. One of them's our background today, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, what do you got next?
Looks like we got 2 characters in this one.
Okay, so it's a dialogue.
I'll take character 1.
Okay.
You take character 2. No more rhymes. Now I mean it.
Anybody got a blank?
Anybody want a blank?
Want a blank. Well, there you go. I messed that up.
Oh, this is a good movie.
This is a good movie.
Did we watch this on the way to life?
I think it's a little overrated, but
maybe a little bit.
It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's enjoyable. It's also a book.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I read that one in high school.
There's a book read on the movie. Is that what you're talking about?
No, there's a novel.
And I'll give a bonus point if you can tell me. No, I won't actually. The Shimos are stepping up with Princess Bride. That is right.
So we're
and
just
Peanut.
waiting on.
We're waiting on the
2
character
characters.
names.
So technically there's 4 points up for grabs.
There are 4 points here, and I almost threw out another one, but then I had to pull it back. Wait a second! Isn't Corey Matthews' brother the guy that's in?
What?
Vizini and Fezzik.
Yes.
Said it. So, but is Corey Matthews'
The short
brother
guy, the tall guy.
the lead, the actor in that, the kid that's sick? Yeah, Fred. That's what I mean. That's his brother.
There you go.
Yeah, Ben Savage is in it, and Corey Savage played one of the greatest characters of all time, Corey Matthews in Boy Meets World.
What is happening?
And we're moving on.
Okay, well there you go. They got a couple of them.
All right, well, here's the next one. It says, I'm watching you.
Oh, a great movie.
Always, or I'm watching you blank. Always watching blank. Classic film.
It really is.
That movie is a great film.
It really is. It really is.
It's highly underrated.
Yes.
And just a solid Disney Pixar film.
The first time I watched it, I was maybe 5 years old, and I threw up.
Garrett Thune.
Yeah.
I'm watching you. Wazowski.
Always
watching you.
blank.
Blank. And we're waiting for that second blank.
That
to be
we
filled
are.
in.
But we did
Always. There it is from Chase Thune.
Yeah.
And Monsters, Inc., somebody I know put that up.
Isaac
So
Mallory, it looks like.
yeah.
Which I hate.
Well, sometimes you got to let everybody get a point.
You do.
So.
You do. So next up.
Who said it was Roz?
Somebody got it.
I do love Roz. Classic character. It was not the librarian monster. That was in Monsters U.
That's one
Another
I've never
great
seen.
movie.
I've never
and
seen it.
there's Raz. They put Raz up above Garrett.
Wow.
So anyway. All right. Well, what do we got?
We've got, if we're going to blank this fight, some of us might have to blank it.
Never saw this one.
Me either. I think, was this the one we tried to watch at Jack's house?
I don't know the movie.
Oh. Yes, it was. We tried, and then it got dark, and then we got tired of you, so we sent you home.
Oh.
Yeah. It actually kind of divulged into an acorn fight, if I remember correctly. And we were throwing Jack's good burning wood.
That's a huge mistake.
It was. You don't mess with that. Oh, okay. So we've got
Looks like Barger there.
Barger with the quote.
With win-lose. So the quote would be, if we're going to win this fight, some of us might have to lose it.
Yes.
and it is not Civil War.
Nope.
And Captain America did not say it.
The character who said it is the mascot for the University of Iowa.
Also, I believe, is a character in the TV series MASH. If I can take us back to about 1960.
That's funny. That is Nick Covert's favorite show.
Is it?
Yes.
Looks like Elverson got it. Endgame was the
Okay.
correct film.
So we're just waiting on the character.
We're waiting
right?
on the character, yeah. I like your University of Iowa hint, but
Yeah, I don't know that any of them will be helped by that.
well, I don't know why they don't Google what we say.
Because their frontal lobes are not fully developed.
Wow. I mean, if we're going to blame it on that.
Ah, well, it's 25, right? So mine's like about 95%.
Well,
I'm not even.
there it is. Nicholas Barger,
Nice.
Hawkeye.
Had faith.
There it is. All right. Well, let's see. I've got the next one. Looks like it says, think blank thoughts.
This was my favorite movie as a
Think
child.
blank thoughts. I don't remember really seeing this one as a child.
It is one that I don't think would get remade in 2020.
It's a Disney film.
It is a Disney film.
What's your favorite Disney film? If you just had to go Disney animated, not Disney
Animated,
Pixar, but
animated.
Disney animated.
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of good ones. I may pick this one. This one's
Wow.
up. I enjoyed it.
I'm
It's
surprised.
nostalgic. I also enjoyed Cars. If we're going a little bit newer.
That's Disney Pixar, though.
Oh, you're right. I don't
For
know.
me, Tarzan.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna jump on that and say Tarzan as well.
I mean,
Phil Collins on
Phil
the
Collins on
soundtrack.
the soundtrack. It's very underrated.
It is. It is.
Beauty and the
honestly.
Beast was pretty high. I mean,
Yeah.
there were 3 films that came out in the 90s. Looks
Okay.
like Malia Bune and Ben Elverson. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so points for you guys for that. And looks like we got one more. And I'm glad I'm not reading this one because I'd probably misread it. It'd be
I'm gonna
bad.
try. This
All
is
right.
one I've seen, but why you stuck up blank blank scruffy looking blank blank.
Yeah,
with
I
an
think
exclamation point.
I think Jack said this to me earlier.
He did almost word for word.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I'm glad I didn't try to read it because it would have been rough.
Yeah. It's a good film.
This
I'm
is a
sure-
film that I definitely fall asleep watching.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a good one in the saga. This is
I
I enjoy this.
You
one.
know, I've seen them all now, and
Yeah.
I can't say I'm like,
That's fair. They're not for everybody.
they aren't. And I'm sad that they're not for everybody. I mean, I'm a huge Chewbacca fan, if I'm being honest.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So we got one.
What'd
Chase
we get?
Thum getting 1 point.
Nice job by Chase Thum.
It is not A New Hope, Noah Brown. Although for your sake, I wish it was. But Elizabeth Fisher got the other half of that.
All right, nice job, Elizabeth. Half-witted.
So,
Not that Elizabeth is half-witted,
no,
but she got
but
the
the
right
answer was half-witted. Yeah, and now we're just waiting. And looks like Nick Barger.
Empire
And Nick
Strikes
Barger.
Back.
Yeah, beautiful.
There you
You'll love
have
to
it.
see it.
Well, oh.
You are correct.
So Natalie Shimo's
Sorry,
picking
Nick
that
Barger.
point up.
Sorry, but I'm not really that sorry.
Well,
I'm looking into your eyes.
yeah, so I enjoy, a lot of films, movie night. It's been good.
Yeah.
Hope that you're sitting in front of your TV or on your phone and it dresses your favorite movie character. But Mr. Rogers not my favorite, but
But
I couldn't find the suit to go Truman
you-
Burbank, so
yeah, that's fair.
here we are.
There you go.
So we're going to wrap up this portion of our night, and we hope that this next offering will draw you into some worship time.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. My sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. Where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. So teach my song to rise to you. When temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. You're my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. You're my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
Dear God, I just ask right now that you would prepare our hearts and minds for the words that are coming, and that you would be there and be present in everything we're doing. And I pray this all in your name. Amen.
As I pursued my degree at Crown College, I remember one time I had a conversation with one of my professors and a pastor in Minneapolis about racial inequality. And it was a part of my urban youth ministry class. And I remember that discussion. We were in the living room at this pastor's house with other members of my class, and the things that were being shared just really offended me, and they made me feel uncomfortable, and I remember getting pretty defensive about things. And I wanted to just outright reject every point that my elders were sharing with me. And I know that I tried to argue some different counterpoints that day because their conclusions did not fit into my life's framework, and so they must be wrong. And looking back on this time, I wish I would have listened more. My experiences were vastly limited growing up in small communities in western Pennsylvania. And so my glasses were rosy, but my vision was pretty nearsighted. I want to be a person who is curious, growing, and being made better. And so relationships and conversations that I can have with people of varying races, perspectives, and backgrounds challenges me to expand my worldview and to show greater empathy and to love deeper. The past several months, we've experienced tragic losses of life in our nation, with Ahmaud Arbery shot and killed while jogging in Georgia, and George Floyd, who suffered and died in police custody in Minnesota. And my heart grieves with the families of those who have lost loved ones unjustly. God's heart is broken when he sees oppression and injustice in our world. He is not pleased. And he hears the cries of those who are suffering, and he is close to the brokenhearted. And as followers of Christ, our hearts should ache and groan over the things that are not right in our world. In fact, the scripture tells us that all creation is groaning, as in the pains of childbirth, for things to be restored and for things to be made as God originally created and intended them before sin entered the picture. And so I want to say unequivocally that personally, as a student ministry and as a church, we denounce the injustice that we've seen. God calls his children to be voices of righteousness. And in Micah 6:8, God clearly instructs us to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with him. So how can I be a genuine follower of Christ in this issue, and also how can I be a good citizen of the United States and of the world? And there are three thoughts that I have on that. Number one is to listen. Take several moments to close your mouth and to keep your opinions to yourself, to set them aside, and then to befriend those of varying ethnicities and points of view, and listen to them. You may not always completely understand where they're coming from, but listen. Number two is to learn. And I mean that sincerely. Be hungry, explore, read, tune into podcasts, watch movies, be challenged by different videos. Take time to ask good questions. If you don't understand in those conversations and relationships you have, ask good questions. Our limited exposure to the world has not made us all-knowing and ever-perceiving. Expand your worldview and experience. And thirdly, love. The Master has set us an example by loving others, by humbling himself, by leaping over social, religious, racial, and cultural barriers. Pray for God to make your love be richer and greater. And then ask him to make you aware of any prejudices that are found in your life and repent of those. And then love God and love others. I think that this next song that we share will really be something that can draw us in to responding in a way that pleases God.
Was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. As the Spirit was moving over the water, Spirit, come move over us. Come rest on us. Come rest on us. Come down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Come down, Spirit, when you move, you make my heart pound. When you fill the room, you're here and I know you are moving. I'm here and I know you will fill me. Yeah. The gates, let heaven on in. Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
Chase says my mic's off, though.
yeah, there's a lot of people saying there's no sound.
Interesting.
How do we sound now?
Can you hear me now?
I do love Nick Barger.
Well, what would you do? What would you carry with you if you were going on that African safari?
Well, there's lions in Africa, so something that, not meat. I wouldn't bring meat.
Oh, Laren says we're on now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't bring meat with you.
No, because I think that would probably attract lions.
Yeah. I think you'd attract enough lions yourself.
I don't know how to take that.
Yeah. I think I would bring a camera. That would be the biggest thing I'd probably bring.
That's probably true.
Extra
yeah.
change of underwear, maybe.
Just one.
Yeah.
Luke
What's your
Gowrie.
favorite African animal that you'd
What's
want
my
to see?
favorite? I would like, so it's not, I guess I would go with probably a crocodile. I like alligators, and they're
Okay.
similar. I think they're bigger. I don't really know. I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, huge hippo fan.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
They are very dangerous.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan, though.
You ever see a hippo poop?
Regrettably, I have watched some YouTube videos.
Yeah, that is worthy of a YouTube search.
Yeah. So
Enjoy.
the question we asked, in case you missed it, was, what if I told you we were going on a journey right now? Would you be open to coming? And then we threw out a scenario. The first one we threw out was this African safari and said, what would you bring? But we're going to throw out a different one now. So
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
What if we're going to Antarctica?
Oh,
It would be cold.
I can't say I'm a fan of cold. I never have been.
You'd rather be hot than cold.
Absolutely.
I disagree.
In fact, one of my theories has always been, what if snow was warm?
Well,
Think about how awesome that would be. Playing tackle
good
football
point.
in shorts and a T-shirt.
it would probably feel like dandruff.
Was not expecting that response.
Well,
and do not appreciate it if I'm being quite
I'm just saying,
honest.
I feel like diving into a pile of warm snow would feel like diving into skin flakes.
I was just thinking the fact that, like, someone could hit you, but you wouldn't hurt as bad.
Yeah,
but
that's
you wouldn't have
true.
to wear the
That's
stupid
true.
puffy coat.
Yeah.
So somebody said a coat. Every blanket I own, Olivia Krause.
A swimsuit, Nick Barger. Good
Yeah.
call.
Polar bear repellent from Leah Bune.
That's
a
what I'm
good one.
thinking. Yeah.
Yes. So let me throw out another scenario. What if we were going to Disney World?
Wow. Well, I wouldn't bring JT Brown. That was a mistake the first time we went.
Oh,
He's not watching.
JT, if you're watching,
Yeah, that's probably true.
if you're watching, JT, I raise a milkshake in your honor,
Yes.
or 20, or however many were in your backpack. that day.
There were, like 18 shakes in his drawstring bag. I had a mark on my shoulders that night from carrying that thing. I
Blisters.
felt like Samwise Gamgee carrying the dang ring. It was
Wow.
terrible.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
bad.
Teresa Flock just asked, "Can she make an igloo?" I don't know if Teresa can make an igloo.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
never seen her make one.
Yeah, I think you mean may I make it?
Yeah,
And I still don't know.
I don't know.
I
the
don't
answer
make the
to that
rules
either.
here.
Well, let me just throw out the last scenario that we came up with.
Please.
What if we were going on a journey to North Dakota? What would
Ooh.
you bring?
I don't know. North Dakota is kind of a barren waste.
I don't think that there's any reason to go to North Dakota.
They should just consolidate into one Dakota. probably.
I think that makes sense because, I mean, all South Dakota has is Mount Rushmore and the Badlands.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think you could do the same with Ohio. Just another state that kind of useless.
Wow.
I mean, realistically.
I don't have a response to
The
that.
Wright brothers were born there but had to leave there to do anything important.
Wow.
Football was born there.
I enjoy everything you're saying.
Well, yeah, because you're not from Ohio.
I'm not from Ohio, nor do I. Ohio's kind of like Samaria.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going
yeah.
to Indiana, I think you go south
Yeah,
through
I
West
think so.
Virginia, Kentucky,
Yeah.
and then sweep back up.
I would agree.
So,
Paddle across Lake Erie just to avoid it.
yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
So, imagine if I told you that we were going on a journey right now, but I didn't tell you where we were going. That would be a scenario,
There's
right?
fear.
I wonder if you've ever gone on a trip without knowing what the final destination was. And for me, I think I was telling you a little bit earlier that sometimes my dad would do that to us. He would come in the room and just tell either myself or my siblings, like, hey, get your shoes on, we're leaving in a short. And I'm trying to figure out the percentage. Like, sometimes that was a really good thing, and other times it was a little less than stellar, maybe, would be the way I would put it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've had an experience like that.
Not so much, but I'm hoping that some people in the chat have.
Yeah. Anybody ever have to go on a journey without knowing where they were headed?
Likely. Jack is saying yes,
Jack is.
and I believe that wholeheartedly.
I believe that I have made Jack go on journeys that he
That
didn't know
I'm
the
sure
final
he would
destination
confirm.
for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of you would be open to coming? How many of you would be hesitant or maybe resistant? I think I would fall in that category.
Yeah, I think I'd have some questions.
Yeah, and what questions would you want answered in order to enthusiastically accept said invitation?
Yeah, it looks like Barger's parents.
Yeah, he says,
Multiple times.
Yeah.
He hated it every time except the time they went to Great Wolf Lodge.
wow. I
So-
pity you, Nick Barger. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I have questions, I know.
Yeah.
Like, you want to know where are we going. But if
Agreed.
they're not going to tell you that, like, how long are we going to be gone? So I know, do I want to bring a book on the journey?
One
or-
pair of underwear or two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much money might I need to bring? I
Yeah.
think that's an important question to
Yeah.
ask. What do I need to bring? Is it hot or cold? Like, what should I be wearing? Who else is going? I know anytime
Yes.
that there is a youth group outing, I always get these text messages from kids like, who else is going?
Yeah.
And the response I want to give is, if everybody would just show up,
True. Everybody
then
would
you
be
would know
going.
who was going.
True.
But it never works like that.
No, it does not.
So in many ways, I think the question that we're talking about boils down to, do you trust me? Like, if I said to you, hey, we're going on this trip, I'm not going to tell you the final destination. It comes down to, do you trust me or not? And I think there's some people that maybe would jump
Yeah.
on enthusiastically. Others maybe a little bit more tentatively. And still others who probably don't have a great relationship with me would just back away from
Yeah,
it
that's
altogether.
probably accurate.
And so I when I thought about that question, do you trust me? I thought about the animated Disney classic Aladdin.
A wonderful film.
Yes. So in that film, twice, Aladdin asked Jasmine, do you trust me? The first time after they have escaped, and Garrett Thune does not trust me, which I'm very
fair.
sad about. But the first time is in the bazaar or the market after Jasmine has given those pieces of bread to the starving children, and Aladdin saves her from great peril. They end up at Aladdin's house with the great view over the city. And for a moment, they have that conversation, and then all of a sudden, the palace guards are there,
Yeah. Not good.
and he says, do you trust me?
Yep.
Right? And the second time, then, that question comes up is when Aladdin is visiting Jasmine and in her room, which now sounds really awkward.
Yeah, a lot of boundaries being broken tonight.
But they are talking about how she has not seen the world, and he offers to give her that experience by taking the magic carpet ride. And he says, do you trust me?
Yeah. I would say both incidents led to adventures without knowing the final destination.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they both require Jasmine to surrender some control and take a leap of faith, which is very important.
Yeah, and that is kind of where we want to head tonight. When we talk about being open, we're talking about open to this journey where we may not have all the answers. right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so in Genesis chapter 12, we're introduced to a biblical character named Abram. And God calls Abram on a journey without giving him the final destination or the entire picture, maybe. And so we want to check that out.
Yeah. So Genesis 12, 1 through 4 says, "The Lord had said to Abram, 'Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. And I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.' So Abram left, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran."
Yeah. So again, God calls Abram on this journey, but not to a destination per se, although there will be a destination revealed at some point. But I think the journey is more to follow him completely and to trust him totally and to fully surrender control. And I wonder if you've ever been invited on that kind of journey. It's a pretty radical commitment that Abram has to make. He has to leave his country, the familiar surroundings that he knows, everything, all he'd ever known, actually, and then leave the people that he knows, family, the friends, leave his father's household, the land and the property that's there, the protection of that, his livelihood, and turn away even from the customs and practices that his family have sort of committed themselves to up until this point in time. And in doing that, he's doing it so he can go to this land that God will show him. But he might be asking those questions we asked earlier. Well, where? How far? How many pairs of underwear do I need to bring? How long is this going to take? And it's interesting because the text tells us Abram is 75 years old. And he's being asked to pack everything up. And he takes his immediate family and he forsakes all that he's known and built his life upon and begins a journey with this God that he doesn't really know that well yet, but he will come to know. And so everything about sort of this invitation to me kind of screams no. No, thank you. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing.
Agreed.
And I think about this, a friend of mine, Gary Witherall, and his wife, Bonnie. God called them to serve as missionaries, and they were called younger in life, but they met in college. They went to Moody Bible College, and I remember in a book that they've written, they shared about how they were seeking the Lord about where it was that God was going to send them to, what country. And obviously, as a missionary, you're kind of gearing up for that. You're going to have to learn the language and the customs and grow in love for the people that you will be assigned to. And so they were wrestling with that and praying and asking God, and in the midst of that, they shared that God said to them, "I have not called you to a place. I have called you to myself." And so for Gary and Bonnie, and for Abram in this passage, and I think for you and for me, God is not just calling us on some adventure to a certain place per se, but he is calling us on an adventure to know and to love him.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that completely. Yeah, in the passage, we see that God makes a series of promises to Abram, and like an ogre, these promises have layers. So
Shrek, a great
Shrek,
movie.
a wonderful movie.
I would dress like Shrek. You say I got some Shrek pants,
You do have Shrek pants,
but I didn't have the Shrek
green
top.
skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably have the sweater that can hang out of the weird shirt that he wears.
You probably do. Yeah, that would be nice.
But I don't know if people wanted to necessarily
Wow.
see that.
Some might.
So I went Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, well, good alternate.
Yeah.
So some of those promises that he makes. First we see, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you." Then later on he says, "I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." And then he says, "All people on earth will be blessed through you." So I kind of think it's ironic that God would make these promises to Abram and Sarai when they've been unable to have a child, and they are in their ripe old age of their 70s.
Yeah. If I were to mention some 70-year-olds to you and say that they were going to have a baby, I don't think you'd enjoy that.
No, I don't
a little
enjoy
sketchy.
any of this.
A little sketchy. So that's the reality in Abraham and Sarai's life, and that promise of the child won't even come to pass for another 25 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
One hundo.
think about that for a little
Yeesh.
bit.
No.
Abram's response at this point in time is one that is one of faith, but that faith requires obedience, doesn't it? See, the adventure required him to completely surrender. And in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8, the author writes, "By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as an inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going." And I wonder, as God calls us on that adventure to intimacy, that adventure to deeper relationship with him, I don't know about you, but I don't always see the end product of that. He doesn't always share that with me. And sometimes it's a mystery out there. Obviously, God knows how it's going to all play out, but we don't always know. And am I willing to be open to that and to say yes to that?
Yeah.
And are you?
I hope so.
Yeah.
So what might you do with that? Be open to the adventure of intimacy that God is calling you to. God invites you on an adventure of faith. It will have highs and lows, ups and downs, victories and challenges. There will be days of great terror and days of great triumph. There will be days of great wrestling and days of great promises fulfilled. I know that's certainly been the case in my life and in my walk with Christ. So my question to you is, are you willing to jump aboard?
Yeah. And I can think of just times in my life where the adventure that God called me on, it was a joy and it was challenging. I mean, just off the top of my head, I think about even the step of moving and coming to this church. And, as Serena and I prayed through that, we felt like there was confirmation after confirmation along the way. But then I remember having accepted this position and coming. We started out commuting, and then we were looking for a place to stay, and it seemed like that part of the journey, finding a house, was just fraught with disappointment and challenges and like punches to the gut. But God, we trust in the fact that God called us here and that He would, open the door literally, and He did. And so, I don't think the journey is always pleasant.
For sure.
But we can trust God and we can surrender to Him. And in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, it says, "Without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." And so in that relationship, it's going to take faith. It's not going to be, simple. It really boils down to that question we asked earlier.
Yeah.
Do you trust me? And this time it's not Aladdin reaching out his animated hand to you and saying, "Do you trust me?" But it's God who's reaching out his hand and saying, "Hey, I'm calling you to this journey. Do you trust me?" And to hop aboard that, you'll have to surrender. You'll have to surrender control and complete trust to Him. And I want to encourage you to do that, even in the hard times. It's worth it. And so if you want to tell God that you're open to this adventure of intimacy and that you want to take this journey with Him no matter where it might lead, then I want to invite you to pray aloud this prayer with me that I'm going to pray, or better yet, maybe the words that are on your heart tonight that you want to express to Him. So let's pray. God, I want to tell you tonight that I'm open. God, I am open to a relationship with you. I am open to hearing your voice. I am open to the adventure that you have in store for me. And sometimes, adventures seem like these awesome road trip experiences with many memories and fun times. And I know that the adventure that you have carved out for us will have those moments. But I know that also those road trip adventures sometimes are fraught with flat tires and wrong turns and just some difficulties sometimes.
And God, we're open to those as well because we know that in those moments, you will build our character and we will grow in perseverance and into deeper intimacy with you. And so, God, tonight we just declare that we are open. We come with open hands. We surrender ourselves, our plans, our dreams, and hopes to you and say, God, take control. We want to sit shotgun in the car and let you take the wheel and have those conversations with you along the way. And so, Lord God, we give ourselves to you and pray this in your precious and holy name. Amen. Hey, if that's a prayer that you prayed, we really would love to hear that, or our leaders would love to hear that, and we'd love to walk with you on that journey too. And so maybe you want to shoot Andrew and I a text or send a message to our Oasis Student Ministry Facebook page just saying, hey, that's a prayer I prayed tonight. And maybe you can share in a little bit more detail, like some of the things that were behind that decision for you or what's going on in your world, because we'd love to dialogue further about that.
Yeah, it's certainly not a decision you want to keep to yourself.
No, not at all.
We're all here to walk with you through that. So let us know if that's something that you decided tonight.
Absolutely. Open is kind of the theme for our summer as we head into what we're calling the gathering. The gathering is what we would normally do during the summer on Sunday mornings, and that opportunity has not presented itself yet, and so here we are. We've invited our Element 56 students to come and be a part of this in this unique time that we could be together, and Andrew's kind of leading that ministry, so he's kind of joining me for some of the fun here, and I appreciate it.
I'm here for it.
Great. You want to tell them a little bit about what next week might have in store?
I would love to. So next week, that's June 11th at 7 p.m., the usual time. We're excited to continue meeting in this capacity as we have been, and to connect with Jesus together while we're not physically together. So join us next week as we journey through the idea of being open to God's calling. Send us a video. This is kind of our pre-contest.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good.
It's an enjoyable one. So basically what we're trying to do is some jump scares, whether that's you scaring your parents, your siblings, your dog, your cat. Ooh.
Oh, I didn't get you, though.
It was close. It was uncomfortable, which is the goal. We want to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
also,
as parents,
that would be almost better.
Parents, if you're watching, or if you're listening from the other room, or if you're watching this later because your kids don't want you to see it, if you can jump scare your students, oh man. I'm telling you, nothing would be more glorious.
It would be wonderful.
So send us those to our Oasis Student Ministry Facebook page, or email them to me, nate.g@zoominternet.net, or text them to me, or Andrew, or anybody on our team. Wow. That was a jump scare.
That was. I did not like that.
No.
Yeah, beside that, we've got some other fun stuff going on. A lot waiting in store for you.
Yeah,
so.
I think we might be punished next week, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a good chance. Dale is looking way too excited now.
I don't like that.
I hate that.
It is not something we've filmed yet, and so it's
there's time to back out. There's time to resign.
It's like that time where you know you've done something wrong.
It's coming. Your dad's not home yet, but he's on his way.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. It's going to be bad. I'm scared.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out, seeing if we can hold our own.
Yeah, I hope that we're as smart as we think we are. We do need to announce the winners.
We will. But I got one other thing before that.
Share it.
Just want to remind you about the YouVersion Bible app reading plan. And that's something we've been doing for a number of weeks now. And usually about every maybe 6 to 10 days, we kind of switch reading plans. So we just started one on the Gospel of Mark. And so I want to invite you to take part in that. It's kind of cool to read and study God's Word together, obviously separately, but then in community. So there's in this particular reading plan, there's a video to watch, a little bit of reading, and then a chance to respond to what God's stirring in your heart. And I've enjoyed hearing and reading the responses that many of our students have thrown into that sort of context. So if you want to be a part of that, download the YouVersion Bible app onto your phone or smart device, and then ask to friend me, Nathan Grossamy, and then I will invite you to the reading plan.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah. Also, Lucas McCready, there is no small groups tonight.
No, there are not.
So, sorry.
In fact, small groups for the summer
Are dead.
are finished. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That hurts.
It does.
We have some winners though.
We do. We have many winners.
Well,
Only
we're
a few
winners.
tonight. We are winners. We
Because
are
we didn't
always
compete.
winners. True.
And I hate losing. There are
I
very
hate-
few things in life
I
I
hate
more than
losing more than I love winning.
Yeah, that is a debate that I've had
Yeah.
in my mind many times.
Yeah.
And then I've always said this: show me a person who likes to lose,
Yeah.
and I'll show you a loser.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
There you go. Remember that, kids.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't remember that. I
Probably
probably
should.
shouldn't have said that.
That
but
should not be your takeaway from tonight.
yeah, so the movie character winner, did you hear who?
I did not. Who do we
I
have?
did, but I thought
Oh,
maybe you did. So.
I did not. I'm a disappointment.
So I want to look right into the camera and say, Nicholas Barger,
Oh.
congratulations.
We do love you.
You are victorious tonight. And for our movie character winner, we really enjoyed the Shimo family Incredibles picture. that they
Ensemble.
sent. Yeah. Yeah, because there were many of you,
There were.
and we're hoping that you will save us when the Underminer shows
Wow.
up. So
Accurate.
that's kind of where we're at. We'll
Yeah.
be shooting those prizes out to you, and we hope that you'll join us next week as we continue this stellar journey.
Oh, yes. We'll be here.
Yeah, hope that you'll be open to all that God has for you.
Indeed.